Oh, it's on? Oh, sorry. Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the March 7th meeting of the Human Resource Committee. In terms of order of business, thank you for those who are tuning in online as well, and welcome to the meeting. We do have quorum. We do have one councillor absent, Councillor Matart, who is the chair of the Human Resources Committee, so I will be filling in for him today. So we'll get to it with the call to order. Is there any declarations or conflict of interest? No? All right. And the approval of the agenda as outlined. Could I have a...
I'll move the agenda.
Okay, moved by Councillor Bernard and seconded by Mayor Brown. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. Looking at the minutes of the February 21st, 23 meetings, is there any information coming out from that? Any discussion
I'll move
on
for
those
adoption.
minutes? Move the adoption? Seconded by Mayor Brown. All those in favor of the minutes, adopting those minutes?
Yep.
Okay, motion carried. So we'll move on to the report. Human Resources Health and Safety Update, report number HR 03072023OS. And we have acting Manager of Human Resources here, Emily McLeod, to speak. So, or Director of Human Resources, I guess I should say.
No, acting manager.
What?
Acting manager.
Acting Manager.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Chair. We have the Occupational Health and Safety Report. There were 3 recordable incidents in March, and none of which were lost time incidents. And there is 1 Occupational Health and Safety Inspection Report attached. The report was pertaining to Cody Banks Arena, and there were no issues with the inspection.
Perfect.
Any discussion on the report?
Mr. Chair, I have a question to Emily. We do have Lenny's report. Who's our mental health officer?
Our Mental Health and Policy Development Officer is Lori Wakelin.
Does she submit a monthly report on activities within your department or the city as a whole?
She does not currently, Your Worship. That is something we potentially could look into for the future, an update for the committee.
Mr. Chair, the reason I bring it up because there's always concern or a focus on holistic health, physical, mental, and all those other areas that we're concerned about. So I just like, I know we do we still work with EPA, the employment, EAP, Employment Assistance Program, and would that be through your mental health officer?
So Lori is, the owner now of the Employee Assistance Program. And the purpose of her role was to meet with department heads and create an overarching mental health strategy for the city. So she has begun that work. She wanted to take the time to get to know the departments before she proceeded with that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Emily.
All right, thank you for that, Emily. No further questions?
No.
All good? Okay. All right, so we have a resolution to move into closed session as per section 119, subsection 1D, human resource matter. Can I have a motion to move in? Moved by Councillor Bernard, seconded by Mayor Brown. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and motion passed. So we will move into closed session as per that section of the
Mr. Chair, just before, I forgot to ask or follow up. Our CAO, Donna Waddell, was to look into that issue I brought up at the last meeting on February 21st regarding the procedural bylaw. When we make add an item to the agenda, that all councillors have to be present. And if one leaves, then what happens? But it says here, Councillor Bernard, discussion ensued. Donna Waddell noted that the city solicitor has been asked to clarify this section. Just wanted to get that back.
Yeah, and I think she did come back, and she did say that she talked to the province, and it's 100% voting to get it on the agenda. Once someone leaves, it doesn't matter, it's on the agenda. As long as you have quorum to keep going with the meeting, then you keep going. But it's 100% to get it on the agenda. Once it's on the agenda, don't matter if one person leaves.
Can we just confirm that? I just want to have that confirmed in the minutes. And
That would be common sense, really.
what's that?
That would be common sense. Putting it on the agenda, you 100% put on the agenda.
Yeah,
On the agenda.
yeah, I guess it's how you define common sense, because in this situation, I think that with the MGA Municipal Government Act, at some point I was told that if we wanted to extend the meeting, it had to be unanimous, and then we found out later it didn't have to be unanimous because of how the act is written. It's just, again, I asked, and I thought the CAO, and of course, Councillor Bernard did follow up by saying it was confirmed, but I just need something in writing.
And I don't ever remember it had to be 100% to extend it. It was always majority. The majority
Yeah,
wanted
no.
to extend it. It was good to go.
There were a couple of times as presiding officer, I couldn't get, because of the rule that was told to me, it had to be 100% of participation of council, and then it changed. And just the last thing, Mr. Chair, is just governance review. Are we planning to go over that with council, or is that, what's the next step in bringing that document to council? Just follow up quickly, please.
I could speak to that, Your Worship. The governance report left this committee to be approved to pass on to all of council. It has been circulated to all of the councillors. For this particular purpose, we'll use the governance report just as a guiding document to help us through the budget process, because there's a lot of staffing implications for our budget exercise. And then once we get through that piece of work and our budgets are approved, we will probably convene as full council to talk about next steps for the governance report in general, and have some sort of summary report for public consumption. But as it stands right now, the report itself is for internal use only, because there is a lot of work done in that report that relates specifically to persons and positions that we would want to maintain as an internal document.
So just a quick follow-up. So the governance review is about adding additional staff, but I think it also looked at some of the operations we have in place that we can consolidate or move around, correct?
That's correct, Your Worship. It's not just about staffing positions, it's about restructuring, and especially at the senior level, once the new CAO is in place, she'll play an integral role in helping guide the council through that senior government piece, the positions that we should be looking toward to get us back to a full complement at the senior level, and then work with the different department heads from there.
And again, Mr. Chair, I only bring this up because Councillor Bernard and I had a disagreement about this in the last council about should it be a DCAO or directors. I think that discussion has to come back to council so that we can start putting that in place and move forward with a new organization, not organization, but an amended organization.
So you're saying, sorry.
Go ahead, Council.
You're saying instead of a DCAO, you'd rather have a director.
I think that's what you recommended in the last council or the last HR committee, standing committee, and I think, going forward, maybe we have to look at that. And again, that would have to make changes. There'd have to be amendments to our definitions in our procedural bylaw and some other bylaws.
But I think I just want to add too, I know when we talked about this before, It was my understanding that Sue was going to send it out to everybody for them to review. This would also be a guiding document for us moving forward. It would take years to fulfill all the positions that they were recommending in the report. So that's what I thought we were doing, was a guiding document. And Eleanor would have to be brought up to speed. So I think we all have it. I think it's one of those things that's, if we read it, it's all in the back of our minds. And as we move forward with our budgets, as we've done in this one, it somewhat has been used as a guiding document for some of the new positions for some of the requests that are made. So,
I don't have the historical background that you guys have, but my understanding was that we were waiting for the CAO to come in, and then that would be used as, like you said, Councillor Bernard, kind of the bit of a navigational post, whatever it might be, to sort of help move us forward in whatever that structure is going to be, take form in the future, so. Okay.
motion to
Motion to adjourn?
moved.
Moved by Councillor Bernard, seconded by your mayor. Thank you, and thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.